Welcome. In this video we're going to take a look at data center consolidation and how you can use LANGuardian to monitor progress. My name is Darren Delaney from Netfort. So what I mean by data center consolidation is where maybe you've got a remote site where you've got servers located or a remote data center and you want to migrate those servers back to your main data center. So how can we get visibility here? How can we get a historical record as to who's connected to what applications are in use? Are there people from outside of this network using those services? Maybe even people on the internet using those services. Now, to get visibility at the remote site or data center, we simply install LANGuardian as a physical probe, or you can run it as a virtual machine on Hyper-V or ESX and connect it to a core switch there. So typically you'd set up a span or mirror port and monitor traffic going to the servers within that remote site. So that gives us eyes on this network by setting up that span port and getting LANGuardian deployed. And you can do this for multiple, if you're moving multiple data centers, obviously you can have probes there as well, all reporting back to a central manager. So now let's take a look at how you can set up a dashboard to see or to focus on what is happening within this data center. So I've now logged on to my LANGuardian. So before I start building a dashboard, to make the job easier, if I go to customization, so this is a good tip to start, go to report variables, and we're going to add a report variable for our data center. So the data center in question, just for example, is Boston. It's a subnet, and we use 10.1.1/.0/24. Save that. So this is to make it much easier when we go setting up reports. So now let's create a set of custom reports which focus on activity within that data center. So the very first one is top clients. So we type in top clients because what I want to know is what clients actually connect to this data center. Click on show more, and in the destination here, if you just select Boston and run the report. Now I'm looking at this over 24 hours, so you might want to choose an extended time period if you want to see all activity. 24 hours does show a lot of IP address connecting here. Significantly, there's some external ones, so I do need to analyze that later on. But these are the IP addresses that are connected to this site. So I'm going to save this off, and let's call it Boston top clients. We will do some drill down and analysis later on. The next one I want to take a look at, what are the most active servers within this data center? So to do that, we type in top servers. Here I've got a report. And in the destination, again, we select Boston and we run the report. So this now shows us the most active servers within this data center. So I've got 22. So a bit of work here to migrate these over, but really just a couple of busy ones, the rest are insignificant. So again, we go to duplicate this report, give it a name, and save that off. Now just so we can get the infrastructure ready when we move it over, we might need to decide what applications do we need to set up within the new headquarters or the main data center. So an ideal report to see what applications are in use in that Boston data center is probably easier to select here in the report. Just go for top protocols under the application section. Again, in the filters here, select Boston as a destination and run the report. So it's mostly file share, some SQL. Actually, people are within that site are using BitTorrent. But we can see 80, 90, over 90% of traffic is file share and SQL. So it looks like they're the main applications I need to set up. So now let's also save this report off. Now the idea of saving the reports off is that later on we're going to create a dashboard so everything is on one page. Now what's also worth doing, if just select that report here, so Boston Top Applications, is to trend this report, because we want to see as we move services is the amount of activity within this data center reducing. So we're going to create a trend based on this applications, top applications, and I'm going to call it Boston activity. We'll call it application activity and create that trend. Finally, I might want to just focus on any events that are being triggered within this site, any issues with application security problems. So we click on all reports here, go to top network events. Again, in the source IP or section, we're going to choose Boston, because we want to see if any of the servers or systems within that site are triggering any events. So here we have them here. So again, we're going to go action, duplicate this report, call it Boston IDS events, and save that. Now finally, if you've got Active Directory integration, you might want to also see what users are accessing applications within this site. So a good report to do that is in the search facility up here. Type in sessions, and I'm looking for sessions by user, which is here. Now in the filters here, again we want to focus on the Boston's destination subnet, run the report, and here now we have a list of users who are connecting to services within that data center. So again, I'm going to trend this off, or sorry, save this as a report. Boston user sessions, and save that. So now we've got a selection of reports saved. Now if you need to access those, simply click on all reports and you've got them here. But what I want to do is I want to create a dashboard so that I have a single place to go to see all of the reports, all of the information. So I'm going to add a new dashboard, and we're going to give it a name. And now it comes to adding some reports. So in the drop down here, select the custom section, is probably easiest. And we're going to go for top clients, top applications, IDS events, top servers, user sessions, and from the trends, we're going to select Boston application activity. Okay, so we're going to add a new column here. Let's make both of them 600 wide. Just depends on your screen size. You could go for 3 columns as well. So let's move things around here. So we've got top clients. Let's move top applications here. Top servers. User sessions, we'll move here. We've got 3 elements per column. Probably will work okay. Save that off. Now everything is stuck on in progress at the moment, so it will take a couple of minutes to update the dashboard. So just leave it running for maybe 5 to 10 minutes and you should start to see activity appear. Let me just refresh this. There we go, we're starting to see activity appear. I'm actually going to change some of these reports so they focus on a 24-hour period. So to do that, just click on Edit, change to 24 hours, press Save, and then we just need to wait for the dashboard to update again. Okay, let's just refresh that. Yep, so here we go. So what have I got? So on my Boston Data Center dashboard, I can see top clients. I've got any IDS events associated with that site. I've got the top applications within that data center, top servers within that data center, and user sessions, so I can see what users are connecting. Now for any of these, of course, you can drill down. So for example, with the file share activity, so pretty much the main project I have here is to move these file shares, because that's 80% of all traffic to and from this data center's file share. So what type of traffic is it? Let's drill down and have a look. So it's archive PST files, user stuff, some virtual machines hosted here. So I just need to move this file server, move the file shares across, and I can see what files, what folders people are accessing. So could optimize this, put all this stuff onto a fast server, plenty of disk space. Let's go back to the dashboard. So the last thing I want to talk about is, well, what if you power off a server, or if you want to take a closer look as to what's happening with a server. The dashboard, of course, is a view of everything that's happening within that data center. But if you want to focus on just one server, if you use the search facility, it's a very useful way to do that. So in the IP address here, pop in the server IP. You may decide to change the time period here. I'm fine with 24 hours. Run a search, and this then shows us all activity associated with that server. So you've got traffic, we've got any events, we've got file share association of it, you got your internet activity associated with that server. So it's a good way to focus on a particular machine on a network, pop it into the search and see what's happening with that, or what activity is associated with that particular IP address. My trend hasn't updated yet because they take a bit longer to update, but it would give me something like a trend, which would be like this one here. It shows us total traffic in and out to that data center. So that's it. That's basics of creating a dashboard to focus on a segment of your network, or in my case, it happens to be a data center that I want to migrate back to headquarters.